Sing. I'm glad you're going to be at our party. That's going to be fun. So, Marvin Gaye. It reminds me of that when he first singing Martha, Martha. I love it. I just absolutely. And Robert, oh, I love the flute. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Thank you. You know, it's a good day, and I love the you know, everybody knows what I'm talking about, the
roller coaster.
The roller coaster, you know, that was cool too. So, you know, it's wow. So I love this month because we're going to be talking about, I love this guy. This is Knox, and when I first saw him on Oprah and I started reading his stuff, and I'm going, wow, he's talking about soul signatures. You know, his whole thing is about, you know, touching this deep part of us. And I'm thinking that we got to get his message. All of us have to, you know, understand what he's saying, because basically he says what we say, but he says it in a really cool way. That we are this incredible field of energy, you know, and that we are connected. That's the main thing. And that's the main thing in all of the talks that we ever do, is to say that we're one, we're connected. You know, that we are this beautiful energy of the one God. And we are manifestations of that uniquely, right? So you're unique. And that's what I kind of want to talk about. We each have a soul signature, just like we have a written signature that is different, and sometimes we can tell personalities from our written signature. You know, we have a unique soul signature in the world, and it's everybody's different. I was thinking about, you know, looking at each one of you, and your, if I could close my eyes and just see each of you, you know, in the energy, you would have a different energy field. You know, what you bring. I was looking at the roses, and I'm thinking that each rose, see, you know, they're different. They open differently, and they have all these different things. Each one of you is this different rose. And leaves. I put a leaf up here because, you know, you can't take two leaves. There you go. Thank you. You can hand those out. But you can't take two leaves and see the same thing. And so we're these unique expressions. And that's what, I don't think we get it. You know, sometimes we don't think that our uniqueness is as important as our oneness, but it is, because that's the way we express in the world. We express this divine quality out in the world in different ways. And the way he talks about it is that we each have a personal energy frequency, right? You know, everything that you've ever done, all these lifetimes, if you believe that, or just this lifetime if you don't, you know, it's all of everything you've thought, everything that you've felt, everything that you've done, every action is all an energy field. And it's within you, and no two people are the same. So our job is to go into the center, to find our center, to find that essence, and then bring it out into the world, to change the world. You know, that's our soul signature. Here's what he says. This is what Knox says. Isn't that a cool name? Knox Desai. He says, we turn our backs on the essence of who we are deep inside, and in so doing, we step directly into the experience of suffering and scarcity. We disconnect ourselves from our truest source. We become like baby chicks abandoned in the nest, not yet formed, in a weakened state, unable to feed ourselves and unable to fly. But when we are able to access and inhabit our own soul signature, we become complete. And that's our whole spiritual journey, is to be able to fly. It's to be able to touch the peace within each and every one of us and to fly. And guess what keeps us from doing that? It's our brain, or not our brain, our mind. It's all the thoughts. He says, and I love the visual, because I'm thinking that, you know, it's like baby chicks that are abandoned that know they have wings, but they haven't learned how to use them yet. And that's like with us. You know, we haven't really learned how to fly. And we are. And what that means is that we're these incredible, realized, awesome, magnificent people that haven't realized it yet. We're these magical beings, and we haven't even realized it. And we're waiting to get our wings. Don't you love that? We're waiting to get our wings, each one of us. And what I know is that it takes time. It's a process. It's a process to be able to fly through life, to be joyful and to be happy and to know that there's inner peace no matter what's going out, you know, on the surface of your life. And this process basically is a process of remembering that we have wings, that we always have wings. And here's the process. It's that roller coaster ride. Did you see their faces? Isn't that something, you know? It's sometimes you're laughing, and then all of a sudden you get so scared you can't stand it, right? And you're scared to death. You bury your head, you know? And here's what I know about this roller coaster ride, is that it's the roller coaster of life, man, that shakes us, and shakes us into realizing who we are. At least that's the way it's been for me. It's been the things in my life that have been the toughest, the roller coaster rides that have really helped me to realize who I truly am. You know, there's a song, and you might remember Whitney Houston, "The Ride With You Is Worth the Fall." You remember that song? Yeah, didn't we almost have it all? Yeah, didn't we almost have it all? "The ride with you is worth the fall." And that was always my song with my husband, right? And it was like, you know, I had like 20 years of my life that was a roller coaster. There were highs that were so high and lows that were so low. And that was such a huge part of my life. But I always said that the ride with him was worth the big fall. And it was a big fall. And it was so worth it because I learned so much, and I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing about, you know, some of the lows that we went through, because wow, you know, what a transformation process. And I can say that for each and every one of us, is that we've all been on a roller coaster. We've all been through highs and lows, but it's those lows, you know, if we let them, that shoot us forward, you know, that transform us, that enlighten us, that change us. If we let it, see, and we have to let it, you know, it's facing, you know, and I got to thinking, what's it look like, you know, to be able to you know, take the roller coaster and transform. And what it means is that basically it's being able to face your life, right? Not what Judy said, you know, where you're going like this and hiding from life, but saying, you know what, bring it on. It's being able to face that, you know, scary part of our life, to feel those emotions when we're feeling anger and when we're feeling sadness and we're feeling it all, is to be able to move through every situation in your life and not run from it. And that's the scariest thing that there really is to do, you know. And so I love that metaphor that, you know, we raise our hands and say, okay, bring it, or we're not. We're hoping that we all, doesn't mean we have to ride roller coasters, but it does mean that if we open our arms and say, okay, God, this is the hand that I'm dealt, you know, and I'm here for it. What am I to learn from this? So whatever you're going through in your life, that's what we ask ourselves. You know, okay, it's not, maybe not the most fun, but what is this that I'm to learn? You know, how can I take this pain and transform myself? And sometimes that takes a while too, you know. We have to kind of feel it and go through it. The fear, the sadness, the anger, you know, the guilt that we feel. But it's these emotions and these feelings that hold us back from knowing who we really truly are. See, and I love the way that Knox talks about vibrational beings. He talks about that, and I think I like it so much because he talks about, there's not really any science in it, but there's more about vibration and about emotion. He says that when we deny or suppress our emotion, and emotions are energy in motion, right? Our energies move. And what happens is when we deny them and stuff them down, guess what? They get stuck and they're not moving. Our job is to not pretend they're not there. It's to move them through, to be clear, to keep our you know, whole being clear. And we only can do that with dealing with what comes to us and letting it move through. Otherwise, we become too heavy. And what he says is it's a vibrational density. It's a heaviness. There's a vibrational density that takes on forms, right? This is interesting. So think about in your life when you have all this stuff going on and everything's just piled on, and then all of a sudden something else happens. We become dense and we become so vibrationally heavy that we can't move. And then we attract more stuff and more stuff to us. And so it stops our ability to shine this light that we are. And so our job has to be to face it, to be around friends, to deal with it, to find people to talk to about it, to let it move through until we can feel the light that we really are. You know, because the lighter, the more light we are, the more joy, the more abundance, the more love that's in our lives, the more people that we attract to us that lead us that way. And so this whole book is about this journey of dismantling these thoughts. So every chapter there's like, you know, anger, and there's guilt, and there's different processes that you go through to dismantle this until finally you can, you know, let it move through, because there's a process of moving through. And he calls it a detox process, and I love that because, boy, it's hard to detox. And if you've done any, you know, kind of, you take the drinks and you detox all the food that's for you. I don't know if many of you have done that before, but I did it one time with coffee. I detoxed from coffee. You know, I went back to drinking. but I didn't know, it was so funny. Because I was thinking how hard this was. And I didn't know but I had gone a couple days without coffee, and I always drank a lot of coffee, and I started to get headaches, and I got sick to my stomach, and I was vomiting, and I didn't know what was wrong. I thought I had the flu, and I finally realized, I took a cup of coffee, and everything went away. And I realized that I was detoxing from coffee, and I'm thinking, if that was that horrible, what is it like to detox from the emotions in our life, right? That's what we're doing. We're detoxing from anger and from all these feelings that we go through that hold us back. The jealousy, the guilt. If we go through life with guilt, it's toxic. It's toxic to us. So we're in this detox process, And I got to thinking that, we're always talking about, this world, all these terrible things that are happening in the world. And I think what is happening right now is that it's going through its own detox process, right? That there's so many people now that are finding the light within them, that it's shining the light on the world. They're shining, just like when we find our light, we shine the light on our darkness and it comes out. So sometimes right when you're on the spiritual journey, and I know that there's so many of us on this journey trying to be able to embrace life and to feel, at peace within, that when that happens, guess what? Some of the dark comes up. So we're feeling the darkness. That's what happens. And that's what's happening with the world too. It's going through a detox process. He says that it's not that we have more darkness in the planet, it's that we have more light penetrating the planet, forcing the darkness within each of us to rise to the surface, to be healed, transmuted, and released. Each of us is in a healing process, as is the world. And we do that by shining our light on our own darkness. I love that, So we're in this roller coaster process. This whole roller coaster process is just part of life. We signed up for it. Whatever you got, you signed up for. It's our job just to face it and to embrace it with love, And what do you get from it? You know what? I think through my process, this difficulty and this pain that I went through, and I know that all of you have too, is that I learned through it courage, so much courage and so much strength and kindness, because I can relate to people going through almost anything. Judy and I always say that whatever problem any of you have had between us, we've had it. We've been through so much different things in life, and so it helps to be able to share and then to embrace each other that way. That's what our journey is about. It's about being there for each other. It's about shining our light uniquely and see each of us shine our light, our soul signature differently. Holly does it different. When someone comes to you, your whole, energy field is different and relates to people different than I would. Judy and I counsel the same people or different people, and they get different things from each of us because we'll bring a soul quality differently, It's like you can tell people, Diane, I just think of you. I love it when you shine your soul signature. I see it all the time when we're in a group, and you make the whole group happy and laughing. And that's what this is about, you guys. It's about taking your uniqueness, because each one of you, there isn't anybody, and there never will be another one of you in this world. Each one of you are so important to life. And so right now is your opportunity. Every moment is your opportunity to whatever you're doing, to go out there and shine it, and to take that soul signature, and put it out there. Touch everybody's life, your family, your friends, everybody that you come in contact with. That's what we're to do. We're to connect with that incredible, magnificent essence within, and then take it out and touch each person. And that's my prayer for each of us, is that we remember our wings, right? We remember, I guess these are the wings, right? Wings, that we remember our wings, and we let our own unique soul signature be revealed. Thank you.